Now for the ontological proof itself. Even atheists know what the term God means. God is defined as the supreme being. This supreme being may or may not exist, of course. The most supreme sort of being imaginable, whether the being actually exists or not, would be a being that is necessary. And there is nothing inconsistent in the idea of a necessary being. Such a being must therefore be possible. Since God is possible, he exists in at least one possible world. The God who really does exist in that possible world is necessary. Since this really existing in some possible world God is necessary, he must exist in all possible worlds. The actual world is a possible world, so God exists in the actual world. In other words, God actually exists, or simply God exists. Let's reformulate this argument into the modus ponens form. If P then Q, and P therefore Q. Within modal logic, more specifically within S5 modal logic, if the idea of God is a let me start over here. Within modal logic, more specifically within S5 modal logic, if the idea of God as a necessary being is not contradictory, then God must exist. And the idea of God as necessary being is not contradictory, therefore God must exist. How could anybody be familiar with this argument and be an atheist or an agnostic? I do not see how it is possible. The definition of God in our world, the actual world, thus requires that God exists. And that was the fifth fact about the world. So since we have a definition of God in our minds, that entails that God must exist. In summation, the 5 facts mentioned earlier, individually or collectively, establishes that there is a God. Again, those 5 facts are: 1. There is intelligent design in the cosmos. 2. There are ethics in the cosmos. 3. The existence of the cosmos initially and the existence of the cosmos continuously in the present. Number 4, the presence of rationality and self-consciousness in humans. 5, the definition of God. So these 5 facts are only true about the world if there is a God. So there is a God. And what we'll do next in starting in part 4 is, as I said before, examine the Bible and demonstrate that the Bible is a reliable source of information about God. And that way we will know more specifically that God is not just a general theistic deity, but the God of the Bible, that is Jesus Christ. Thank you. Shalom.